books in the last week of July, so let's go through all of them. I started that week off with The Safari by Jacqueline Goldis. This was such a fun thriller mystery book. I've read all of her thrillers, and this one is either my favorite or tied for my favorite with The Chateau. I will say her books are more slow burn, like you know there's going to be a murder or something crazy happening, but then the build up, you're really just uncovering the story, getting to know the characters. It's definitely a slower pace, but it's done amazingly well. Like I was never bored in any of her books. This involves a very wealthy family going on a vacation in South Africa on a safari. The mom of the family is getting married to her now going to be second husband, and so she invites her adult children, her daughter-in-law, her grandkids, and her assistant, and who's also her best friend. Now you know pretty much right off the bat that she's gonna end up killed, and so you are trying to uncover as you read who it is who did it, because it's kind of a remote location, so you know somebody that you're reading about is going to be the killer, and it was just such a fun ride. The next book I read was Holly Jolly July, which I absolutely adored and ate up. It follows these two people who are on set for a Christmas movie. It takes place in July in Canada, but it's during the summer, so it's very warm there. It's a grumpy sunshine. One of the main characters is an actress on set, and the other one's the makeup artist. Now the actress, she's the sunshine. She's so excited to be there. She thinks this is going to be like the start of such an exciting new career. The makeup artist thought she'd be like a lot farther in her career, so she's very grumpy. This is not the opportunity she hopes for, but she's still there. She's hoping this can be a stepping stone to something greater for her. Now they end up both dating this guy separately that they did not know was the same person. He went by two different names for them. He was basically pretending to be exclusive with them, but actually wasn't. They end up finding out amongst themselves that they're dating the same person, and so they decide to just mess with him. They decide to do like Home Alone style pranks, which was such a fun read through. As they are doing that, they of course are falling for each other along the way. It was so cute. Then I read All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles, which was my second book of hers, and I would say her books are like romantic suspense. They're romance, but there's like a heavy thriller aspect to it too. This involves a woman who's a true crime podcaster. She does this career because she lost her sister so many years ago, so she does this to try to bring closure to other families and get to the bottom of cases that might otherwise not be solved. She's in this new town trying to get to the bottom of this case. There's this like grumpy sheriff who's in her way. They're gonna end up working together, and this case is gonna hit a lot closer to home than she might have thought. I realized that I love Catherine Cowles' books, so I will be reading all of her books now. I read a really short novella called Roller Coaster Romance. This one follows a new manager at what is basically Disney World. It's a lot harder of a job than she would have expected. She's trying to juggle all the new responsibilities, trying to make everybody happy, and also falling in love with another employee along the way. I read Gracie Go's memoir and was heartbroken, but also absolutely loved it. If you followed her story at all, if you're interested in the figure skating world, I highly recommend this. I listened to the audio, which I loved because it's narrated by her, so if you're going to read this one, do the audio. Then lastly, I read A Court That's Cruel and Lovely, which was a romantasy book about a woman who has a secret power that's forbidden in her village, so she gets kicked out when they discover it. She ends up making a deal with a mercenary. She's just trying to survive, but it takes her on a whole bunch of different journeys. I really like this one, but then it kind of exited my brain after I finished reading it. And there we have it. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've read any of these.